books are comfortable enough, so anybody who needs a seat, I'm gonna leave this stool here. And yeah, wow, thank you for coming, everyone. That's amazing. Biel, anywhere we can find your music, or
not really.
Can I share your Instagram on the site or in Dorotea Speaks Up so people can check out your music?
Yeah.
Yeah? Alright. After the show I will post photos. Also give it up for Olga Camacho here taking photographs and videos of the performers. So we're gonna have some cool material for everyone tonight, and yeah, I'll post everything on the website, on Facebook and Instagram, so you can see the pictures, you can see the usernames and where to find the work of the performers. And well, without further ado, we're going to move to our next performer. He has been telling stories around Barcelona for a while in several events. He's been in Public America on Thursdays. He's been here a few times, and he also has been sharing in the Society of Degenerate Artists, another event that we do. We mix poetry, theater, music, all kinds of stuff. So give a big round of applause to Bill Vincent!
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Bill Vincent. Yes, I've been here a few times. And tonight I'm going to be telling you a story that is cobbled together from two other stories, because I realised there's actually a third one that fits in between them. Now, the most popular story I've ever told you here or at Society for Degenerate Artists is one called The Last Time I Got Arrested. And I think it's perhaps the title that attracts people. Yes, I've been arrested. Yes, it's happened several times. I've been arrested for drugs 3 times, which is not bad considering that I've been involved. Yeah, I've definitely been involved for 50 years. Now, in 50 years, I've only been arrested 3 times. Now, I reckon that's pretty damn good. If you can get away with something illegal for 50 years and you only get stopped 3 times, you're doing all right. And I've only been stopped 3 times. The third time is the one with the most spectacular lead-up and ending, which I will tell you perhaps in 2 weeks' time, because I want to do this as a trilogy over 3 weeks. 2 weeks ago, I was sitting in the back room at Limerick, writing away like mad, because I just remembered the first time I ever got arrested, and I told that one. Now I've remembered that there was one in between. So I'm going to try and cobble together the bits and pieces, because some stories are dark, some stories are humorous, some stories are drug-related, some stories are family or teaching or all the other things I've done in my life, because I've done an awful lot of different things because I'm old. And among the many different things I've done, there's sometimes an overlap. And in one of the times when something bad was happening, some of you who've heard my stories before may know that the bravest thing I've ever done in my life was rescuing a teenage girl who'd been raped by her stepfather. That was scary as shit, it really was, and I needed police escorts and they had to protect me and things like that. However, we got through all of that, and it does have an uplifting ending, because at the end of that, where he got arrested, he got charged, he got sentenced, sadly to only 4 years, and he came out after 2.5 and went back to his wife. However, on the upside of that, the girl who had been abused went to her school headmaster and asked if she could tell the story of what had happened to her to the school assembly. And they all agreed, and they all supported her, and she did, and she then took that story to 3 other schools in the area where she lived. And so she's not a survivor. What I mean, she's not a victim, she is a true survivor. She's a real survivor. Now, unfortunately, a bit that I couldn't tell you when I was telling people that story, because it's quite a long story, is that we also had to rescue her younger sister. Her younger sister was only 10, the girl who had been abused was 14, and the girl who had been abused, it was her stepfather, and she never knew it, because her parents hadn't told her that He was her stepfather. She just called him Dad, father. And his excuse for getting away with it was that she wasn't his real blood relative. However, he did have a daughter who was 10 years old. And so he had to rescue her as well. She'd never been assaulted, she'd never been abused by her father, and understandably, she hated me. Of course she did. I was responsible for her father being arrested. I was responsible for her father being sent to jail. And unfortunately, she'd seen me skinning up a spliff. And she saw where I got it from. It was in a little stash bag on top of my wardrobe. And so, when she was returned home to her mother's after her father had been sent to prison, she immediately told the police what she'd seen at my house. That she'd seen me skinning up a spliff. That she'd seen where my ash was. And she insisted that the police did something about it. Police really didn't want to. Because after all, I'd rescued this little girl from being raped by her stepfather. But they had to do it. So they came round and they were really apologetic and they knocked on the door. They didn't just charge in and break the door down like they did the first time. It's true, you'll hear that story another time. But they knew exactly where my stash was. They asked me to get it down. They didn't look anywhere else. They asked me to give it to them, which I did. And they apologised profusely. They said, look, we're really sorry that we've got to arrest you, but it's illegal. Well, yeah, it is. There's nothing I can do about it. And so I did get arrested. I did get set charged. And luckily, the police were there in support. So by the time we went to the magistrate's court, the magistrates also knew all the backstory. And so the magistrates just charged me the absolute minimum fine they could, which I think was £40, which is about 45 euros now, which was the minimum charge they could do. And luckily we got away with that. I think that was getting away with it, because that's quite a good ending from what was quite a nasty incident, because it had involved a very nasty story. Yes, I got arrested, yes, I had drugs, yes, I'd broken the law, and yes, they were doing something about it. Right, now the final bit of this story is really to say, if you're somebody who doesn't do drugs, and somebody who claims that they've never done drugs and never will do drugs, what I'm saying to you is, why not? I've been getting away with it for 50 years. And the drugs that I've taken have definitely improved my life. I wouldn't have an audience here in front of me now applauding what I'm saying if it wasn't for the drugs that I've taken. So why not? If there's a good reason why not, don't do it. If there isn't a good reason why not, then why not? And that's all I'm going to tell you tonight.